I recently watched for the first time Cutthroat Island, the 1995 pirate adventure story directed by Renny Harlin and starring his then wife Geena Davis, with Matthew Modine and Frank Langella. The film is notorious for having been the biggest box office bomb of all time, and it's still, to this day, recorded a loss of around $150 million adjusted for inflation. It was a gigantic failure that completely buried the then struggling Corolco Pictures, even though it had a number of major hits in the previous few years with movies like Total Recall and Terminator 2. The film itself is really just a fairly traditional pirate adventure story. The newly minted captain, played by Geena Davis, is racing against an evil pirate revealed to be her uncle to try and find the titular location, location of a hoard of Spanish gold. In the process, she breaks a educated thief played by Modine out of prison. It's because he's the only one who can read the Latin on the map, and they trace the various segments of the map in seeking the treasure itself. It's relatively straightforward, old-fashioned, Errol Flynn, Douglas Fairbanks swashbuckling adventure, but it's executed surprisingly well. There are some exciting adventure sequences. There's a carriage chase along a dockside with explosions and jailbreaks and incredible stunts near the beginning, which is genuinely very impressive. And the scale of the production is extraordinary. Largely filmed on location in Malta and Thailand, with full scale ships and huge stunt sequences and thousands of extras. It's an incredibly lavish production. You can see where all the money went, which is very impressive. Films like this, normally the money disappears into catering budgets or up producers' noses. And although there are stories of bizarre spending behind the scenes, like having three cameras running at all times, or cases and cases of vegetable juice being ordered and then left undrunk. So much of the budget actually goes on screen that it winds up looking very impressive. Even at the film's climax, where an entire ship explodes, it appears to have been done with a full-scale ship rather than simply a model. It's genuinely very exciting, very impressive piece of work. Overall, the film is quite old-fashioned, but the addition of a female lead in a pirate story is certainly not without historical precedent and works extremely well. Davis is charismatic and likable, a winning heroine for the story. Modine is suave and charming and a roguish fellow. Langella is an excellent villain. There are numerous recognizable faces in supporting roles. Patrick Malahide, best known for playing Mr. Chisholm in Minder, plays the nominal law-abiding villain, and his second in command is played by Angus Wright, who would be later seen in episodes of Peep Show, among others. Overall, it's a surprisingly enjoyable, full-blooded adventure story. It's a shame that it wasn't a hit, which I think was due to a variety of factors: a lack of promotion by studio partner MGM, a lack of interest in pirate stories at the time, and the selling point of having a female lead in an action-adventure movie, which at the time was still a huge novelty, and the fact that Davis was untested in that kind of role was a problem. But the film itself is generally very good. It's no Oscar winner, although it might have received some recognition for its technical achievements. But overall, I found it very enjoyable and an excellent Friday night adventure.